Sorry for that.
Okay.
I'm just trying to stream it in YouTube.
Okay. You can hear me all right, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good.
Hari, can you just raise your hand so that I can promote you as a speaker? Okay, 1 second. Let's just give it a minute.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Good evening.
Okay, the streaming is live, and I think we'll just give it one more minute for everyone to join. I see like around 90 people have joined, but yeah, let's just give it one more minute. In the meantime, let me send out the uh, messages in the group and start it. Everyone, we'll just start in a minute. We're just giving everyone the time. Okay, I think we can get started. I just informed the group that the session has started. Okay, so thanks everyone for joining. Today's session is kind of meetup for front end developers. So before we get started, I'm just giving some intro. We have been doing these sessions for years now, at least 3 4 years. We usually do lesser sessions during the summer, but more sessions during the winter because we have a lot of time in our hand. And we this these sessions are only for a couple of things. One is improving your professional network and sharing the information, because in Canada you might be aware that professional networks play a big role in your career. So Hari, I'm just muting you for a second. Okay, so a professional network plays a very huge role in your career growth. So that is the reason why we have started this initiative of um, bringing people together and discussing about the latest technologies, or sharing the information on the job search market, job related things, or what is happening in the market, what are the latest news in the market. So this has enabled us to improve our professional network drastically. We have been doing this for quite some time. So thanks everyone for joining. So today's session is for the front end developers, purely focused on the front end developers. We had past sessions on tax, we had past sessions on the job, inviting the recruiters, then agile meetups and everything. So all the past sessions are in YouTube. In case anybody needs any link, just ping me. I'll be happy to share the link. So today we have Midhun and Hari, and they will help us understand what is the latest trends in the market, which is going in the market. At the same time, you can also raise your hand, come up to as a speaker, and then you can also introduce yourself. And one thing I would recommend everyone is to get connected with each other, because as you know, even if the person is kind of it's not in the same field, maybe you are talking to a backend developer, just try to get connected, because here the connections you make goes a long way, because Canada is a very small market, and we have like a uh, I mean, we know each other. Most of us know each other, and in the long run, we'll be working together. So try to get connected with your fellow folks, and that will help us in your career. And today's session, I'm inviting Hari and Mithun. So I had asked them whether they were interested, and they volunteered to host this session. and they are kind of technical experts in these fields. Midhun is a Java developer, Java tech lead, and I know him for past 3 4 years. And Hari also, we know each other for past 4 5 years. So we have been exchanging these news or the information related to what is happening in the Canada market. We have our small WhatsApp groups where we share all these informations. We try to help the newcomers understand how the Canada market works. We also mentor a lot of people who is in need of mentorship. So this way we are trying to improve our or increase our audience, and bringing everyone together helps each other, and we can actually share this information in a whole bigger audience. So thanks Hari and Midhun for joining, for accepting my invite and joining today. So yeah, before we get started, can you please introduce Midhun? We can start with you. Just give a small introduction about you.
Yeah, thanks, Sudhir. You can hear me, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so everyone, my name is Midhun Harikumar. I am currently working with Accenture as a my Accenture role is associate manager, but the kind of job that I do is like a technical lead. I work with developers and other product teams, and I have a total of 14 years experience. And for the last 5 years, I've been in Canada. I initially started out as a full stack developer. I have hands-on experience in both the front end and back end as well as mobile technologies. But recently, for the past 4 years, I've been more concentrated on the back end, Java back end. And I keep myself updated with the latest front end technologies as well, because there's a lot of things that come up every day and we have to be learning those things. And I do some personal projects in my free time so that I can explore these new technologies.
Thank you, Midhun. Hari.
Good evening, everyone. Myself, Krishnan. I've been with front end field. I've been in front end field for almost 10, it's my 11th year now. I kind of focus more into the front end framework rather than going full stack. Again, that's more of a personal choice and like for the JavaScript. Been in Canada for 5 years, and of the past 5 years, I've been doing both Angular as well as React based projects. As well as been doing part-time teaching for Humber as an Angular instructor.
Thank you, Hari. And you missed to mention about your YouTube channel. Hari developed a very good React tutorial, and he owns a YouTube channel, and he has uploaded the React tutorial in the YouTube. Do you want to explain about that?
That's okay. I mean,
That's fine. Yeah. Yeah. So, in case anybody is interested in React or Angular, you can reach out to Hari. He is very good with that. Okay. He has helped us develop a lot of websites and all. Okay. So let's get started. Hari, how was your journey in Canada in the past 5 years? How was your journey as a front end developer in Canada? Your personal journey.
my personal journey from where I started back in 2012 as a fresher in web development. 2017 I migrated. 2018 I reached here. I started my migration process in 17 and I landed here in 2018 Feb. The main problem that I faced was back in India where I was migrating from. The point was there I was only competing with people among ourselves, whereas when I landed here, I was kind of taken back initially purely because I was not used to the market, the recruiter market. Back home, what I was seeing was mostly if I see a job description, I straight away apply for it directly with the respective HR who will take the resume. They'll either schedule an interview, yes or a no, was a relatively straightforward process. Whereas here, everything is handled through recruiters as well as agencies. Plus, my resume was fighting with another at least 15-20 countries people. So the competition was heavy. It took me around 3.5 to 4 months to land my first job after almost 8 to 10 interviews. So the initial 3 to 4 months has was heavily challenging, and there has been times when I used to think like, okay, I'm here after about 5 or 6 years of experience. Still, uh, why am I not getting a job? uh, why is people so obsessive about Canadian experience? So everyone goes through that phase initially. I know there are some of the people, I know some of my friends, although managed to crack their interviews in within the first month, but then here later I realized that 3 to 4 months is a standard time because things are slow. What works here, what doesn't work here, what is that the recruiters are looking for, that we will understand once we go through that phase, once we talk with the recruiters to see, okay, what is that they are expecting, how should I model my resume, how is the interview process, although it has slightly changed after COVID. But in general, uh, it takes a mental reset before applying for jobs and making yourself available in the job market. That is my personal understanding.
And Hari, after once you understood that change, were you able to switch between the jobs very easily?
The first job, as like everyone tells, first job is more or less like take it whatever it is. And at that time I don't have a choice of selecting for the framework of my choice, or a salary of my choice, or even a permanent or a contract. First job is like, okay, whatever it is, just take it so that I can add it as my first job here in Canada, and sitting on that job I can look for the other ones in parallel, something which I am more interested in or something which match my particular taste. So once the first job is been cracked, the next one comes a bit more easier.
Got it. Yep, that's across everyone. Only the first job is tough. The second onwards, it's pretty much easier. It's like 90% easy than first. So Midhun, how was your first journey or journey in Canada?
Yeah, so my story is different because I came to Canada already with a job. I was on a work permit, so I didn't have to struggle like I think most of the people who immigrated and landed here looking for the first job. So after maybe 1 year of experience, when I got the PR, I decided to switch my job, and I think I had applied close to maybe 40 or 50 applications, but only 10 maybe responded, and 9 of them were like, your profile is very good, but we're not going to continue with that position. So only few interviews or coding tests I was able to take, and that's how I changed to my current position. But actually, I applied for a full stack developer role because I was more interested, or I had some background of both front end and back end, and I was trying to get into more newer front end technologies than the legacy ones that I was working on earlier. And I did that. First round was a coding interview, so like a coding test, which was like maybe 5 hours of coding. So I passed that, and then I talked to the hiring manager. So when I talked more detail about my experience and everything, he suggested that I should apply for the backend or cloud development position. So then I had to do another 6 hour coding test, and then another interview later. I joined this cloud services as a backend developer. So more straightforward than what Hari mentioned.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, thanks, Midhun. So again, anybody wants to share their experience or want to ask any questions, please feel free to raise your hand and become the speaker. So next, let us get into the technology side. So Hari, what are the current front end technologies which is in progress, or which are kind of most popular right now, or which are in high in demand? So what's your thought on what is actually happening in the industry, more specific to the front end development?
More specific to front end, what sells here is mostly among the JavaScript framework, what usually sells more is React as well as Angular. Both has got their own share. It's not that one is better than the other. There are companies, bigger companies who focus on one particular framework, and there are companies who focuses on the other one. So, for example, there are companies like Rogers, the bigger ones, the enterprise level companies who works only on on Angular, whereas there are other companies who focuses more on React. So it depends upon where you are applying. My suggestion would be everyone wants expertise. Nobody wants a jack of all. So if one person is good at either a front end or a back end, then highlight that first, plus add the additional ones as yes, good to know, or you already you are um, expert in that as well, but highlight one thing better than the other, so that you stand better chance of getting through rather than a bit of here, a bit of there. Usually, with my personal experience, the more I highlighted the specific stack, especially Angular or React, for which I applied only. I don't apply for full stack opportunities. That is my personal preference. Rather, I decided to build my expertise around front end frameworks. So any mean stack, Moen stack, Node is okay. But then I always highlight the front end framework expertise, and then once that is done, yes, I also know Node, and if I want to work on backend, I can do on a need basis. But then I always keep my front end stacks strong so that I'm good enough to apply and attend interviews at will.
Okay, Midhun, you want to add something onto it?
Yeah, so basically, what we have to do is we have to learn the fundamentals, which is basically JavaScript. So, whatever framework you're working on, everything will be built on top of JavaScript. So, that is one of the fundamentals, and how to use it, how things work, everything we have to. If we know those fundamentals, then it's easier to learn new languages and everything. And what I usually see is mostly it's either React or Angular that's used by enterprises, most of the enterprise companies. And a lot of startups have started using frameworks like Vue or Svelte. And every day there are new frameworks that are coming up like Solid, Quick. That's what I see. Yeah, yes, there. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. I was talking on mute. So, Hari, you want to add something to it?
I agree to the point where Mithun mentioned about Svelte, Vue, Quick. Yes, these are brand new, but then the pattern which I usually see is whenever the frameworks is released initially, uh, usually the Canadian companies are a bit hesitant in adopting to them straight away. Rather, they'll wait for some time to see if the bigger companies are adopting it, see how enterprise level companies are actually adopting it, what are the best practices. They'll wait for it to blossom a bit before jumping into it. So if there is 50 openings, probably 40 will be them for React and Angular. A few would be here and there for the older ones, plus there will be at least half a dozen for Vue, or I haven't seen a quick one yet, but then the the ratio would be relatively less for the Vue and the other frameworks as of now. Yes, it's increasing, but not as much as the other two frameworks.
So, Hari, to add to that, if the number of people who are experts in those new technologies, right, won't they get higher remuneration?
Pardon? I missed on the last point.
No,
Yeah, so
they'll get
it's like
they'll
if
get
the
good rate.
demand, yeah, if there is a demand for maybe one view developer and
Yep,
there is an expert, he will get highly paid, right?
that's
Correct.
right.
So the more you adopt these frameworks and keep them under your belt, yes, as and when the need arises, you can plot your resume, and provided you have done a couple of projects yourself and built something on yourself so that you can explain them during the interview process, yes, you stand a better chance of going through. But the point is, usually these things, whenever these smaller companies open up, the expectation they'll keep it high. So if you are a brand new developer who are looking to get into the web development field, it will take a bit more for them to crack through for
Yeah,
these
that's
new frameworks.
yeah. So in that scenario, the established frameworks like Angular or React would be easier.
Right. So from a job search perspective, if somebody is looking to get into this field for the very first time, the especially considering that 3 years is what usually companies are considered as entry level here, for a for the initial job search, the regular JavaScript knowledge, TypeScript knowledge, ES6 plus one of the frameworks will help your resume reach more recruiters and stand a better chance of going through rather than waiting for that one opportunity for a view or a svelte or a quick one.
Okay, thanks, Hari and Midhun. So we have a lot of questions to discuss related to how to do the job search, how to get started, and all. But before that, we'll give opportunity to Hardik, Corey, Venkatesh, and Amrendra. So the floor is open in case you want to introduce yourself. It's open, or if you want to ask question or share your experience, feel free to do it. Hardik,
I'll go forward. Hi,
sure.
everybody. Thanks, Sudhir, for this wonderful platform that you have created. I appreciate all the efforts. So, a brief background for myself. I'm a digital technology specialist for the last 23 years. I came to Canada like many of you, but first time I came in 2003, worked on work permit for a few years. Finally, decided to come in 2008 as a PR, and ever since I've been here and never stopped learning. So I'm on that journey. I left development long ago back, but in the past few years, I am experimenting with Python, Node.js, and on the front end React and all those technologies. I'm still very much, I would say, new baby in that development phase. But with Copilot coming, GitHub Copilot and getting integrated in large enterprise application like SAP and Oracle, it feels so exciting to be in this space. So I'm learning from all of you guys, but feel free to connect with me and if you guys need any help in finding jobs or getting the good connections, you can leverage my connections. That's all I can offer for now. So thanks for this opportunity.
Great,
Thank you,
Hardik.
guys.
Thank you for the kind words. Corey, you want to say something? Venkatesh,
Yes, yes, Sudhir. Thanks for this opportunity. Yeah, it is really a great platform you have created to with this like we can improve our connections and also the opportunities. So yeah, let me introduce myself with quickly. Myself Venkateswarlu. I have recently landed in Canada. Uh, like Midhun said, even I came here with some job, but it was a short period. So I recently landed in Canada like in March, and in May end my contract ended, and I just today I have given an interview and I'm waiting for the hoping for the good news. I given it a good way like so, and yeah, as Harry mentioned, I agree. Considering the current market in Canada, we have to be up to date with each and every skill set which are newly adding to our skills. So and but these React and Angular, right? Those are all common frameworks. So with the current market in Canada, like everyone can know the React and Angular. So the recruiters are HR managers or maybe technical team, they are looking for something extra, not only that React and Angular, they are looking for something extra like AWS or maybe something, some backend technologies, or maybe at least as Midhun mentioned, Svelte or any other Next.js or some Vue.js, right? So it is always better to have some extra skill set. Again, we should be in expertise in one skill set, but apart from that, we have to have we have to gain some good knowledge on other skills as well. Because if you see at the recent days, when we see the job description, we are seeing a lot of technical skills added in the job description, right? Not only the React or Angular. In addition to them, like a lot of skill set like AWS, TypeScript, ES6, a lot of other skill set. Like today, even I see they're asking for GraphQL, Kubernetes, okay, and Node.js, a lot of other skills. But even I am also the front end developer with more than 10 years of experience. But yeah, as Hari mentioned, I would prefer to be as a front end developer. But considering the current situation, I decided to learn at least some backend technologies like Node.js, GraphQL, some AWS, so something like this. So it is my suggestion is always I suggest always be up to date with the current skill set or uh, and be prepared to like
Yeah,
um,
thank you. No,
right.
what you said is absolutely correct, Venkatesh. And I have been repeating the same thing again and again for the past 4 years. Uh,
Mm,
so in Canada, if you want to survive, you have to upgrade the skill set. It's
yeah,
not only the front end development, everything, even if you are a PM, even if you are a developer, QA, data analyst, BA, you have to have you have to improve your skill set on a daily basis, because things are changing so rapidly that we are not able to keep up with what are the things getting changed. And the companies, once the companies start adopting a new technology, it is getting very hard for the existing employees and even the new hires. If they don't upgrade to that particular skill set, their job security is in question. So this have been has been happening for past few years now. And even I have been noticing it, that what Venkatesh said is absolutely correct. You have to have one good great skill, plus on top of that you have to learn other skills which are required for your particular job. So Venkatesh, it would be great in case you can just write a post on that, so that it will help all the front end developers to understand what are the things which they might have to learn in a long term, at least for the next 1 year, so that they can improve their career in Canada. So just write a post, and for all others, my recommendation is to get connected with Venkatesh, Midhun, Hari, and all, include and Hardik. That will actually improve your. This is how your connections are made. Okay, so
sure.
One thing I'll add, sorry to interrupt.
sure.
There is a lot of, I know Hari mentioned that you should have one core skill set, and which is very true. I have post pandemic. I had pre pandemic. I had one source of income. Post pandemic, I have 11 streams of income. That income might be $10 or $100 or even $1,000 a year. But I have expanded that reach. Is I'm not just going to do one thing, and I might do programming, I might do project management, I might do program management. So there is another opportunity to not just add your technology skill set. We all have a lot of other things to offer to the world, to the family, to the community, and you can make money any which way. You pick a particular topic you are passionate about, and you can just do almost about anything with chat gpt, and putting your mind to it, and forming a group like this one. This is an amazing, this group. You can do a lot more than just doing one thing. So that's just something I like to add out there, is please be mindful of not just going after technology, because Sudhir, you said it absolutely right. It's changing so fast that it's not humanly possible to catch up. There are 10,000 companies in marketing technology stack. There are, I don't know, numerous companies in every single niche. How do you catch up? How do you keep a track of it? I was at AWS event in Toronto, and there were so many security companies, so many cyber security products and offerings. You cannot even humanly try and test out the free versions. Forget about the paid versions. You don't have that kind of money to just keep on spending. How do you even try out like 100 or 500 new products on the market? um, like you need to sleep 8 hours a day. Like how do you do it? And at some point you'll have to decide whether you still want to be in technology after 10, 15, 20 years, or
Yeah,
keep on
that's
working,
true.
right?
No,
So that's
that,
just
that
my.
that's one. Yeah, Corey, you want to add?
Hi, guys. Thanks. Hi, my name is Corey Gardner. First, I'd like to welcome you all to Canada because that's awesome. And I'm going to apologize for butchering it, most likely. But for this, shukriya and dhanyavad or dhanyavad, depending on. And up kisehe, you
Yeah.
all. Okay, I don't know if I
Yeah.
butchered that or not, but
No, that's fine.
anyways, so thank you. All your guys' experience is just overwhelming. So I come from about 20 years of what I call IT technology because even post COVID, I was still kind of in the loop with what things were. I haven't done programming in 25 years when it was C plus and not even plus plus. It might even have still been C, quite honestly, and assembler. So, programming just wasn't the way for me. So, from the other end, though, I'm quite proficient with most software. My degrees in or diplomas in medical devices. So, I have like a whole kind of exposure market kind of thing in that. I've really got a niche in that. The problem is like you have said, there are so many programs coming out from an end user. I can tell so many of the platforms are so similar that as an end user showing, learning, going through that process, it's is it still similar enough even though the back end part is so different? Can I still be confident, would you say, as an average with some of the program history from say for pre 10 years ago, if that makes any sense? Oh, did I
Yeah.
lose you?
No, no,
Oh,
no. We are here.
okay.
That's a thought for everyone. So
Sorry. It's a long one.
yeah, it's a long one.
Didn't want to take a lot of time.
Yep. So uh, how do you see, like, see, I know that you are from the business analyst perspective, but how do you see when these technologies changes? How is it
So,
impacting you?
well, that's so far, it hasn't. So far, I can see one website and how it's done. I can see an AWC website and I can see a, I don't know, Java website, whatever. And I can look at them and go, okay, that's different, but it's similar to one I've used before. So, from an end user, because I'm very comfortable with software, it's not been an issue. And I guess maybe to try to clarify my point a little bit more. See, that's what I mean. I don't even know your
Yep.
guys' lingo enough to make a question proper. Um, do you see the end user side templates, features, usability, kind of the standard menus along the sides, along the top, like to get into the different boxes? Is it going to go more like old school Linux based where, we've kind of got a whole different thing altogether? Is it trying to still say the same, even though they're different? I guess that's the question. The
But
same
yeah,
functionality, but
yeah.
different programming and softwares that they want the rights to, I guess.
Okay, so see, I'll say my perspective, but yeah, Mithun and Hari can add on top of it. But what I see is that, see, right now the things are pretty faster and the technologies are changing so rapidly that the companies have to adopt it because of multiple reasons. The first one being security reasons. Okay, because the old systems are not being supported. All the old languages, they may not be supported, and the new languages have additional features, and also it's not only the back end which is getting changed. If from the cybersecurity perspective things are changing, from the front end perspective uh, things are changing, because you need to build a website which should work in mobile, ipad, and desktop, including all the variants of the cell phones, right? Like iPhone, Android, all the variants. So yes, we have to adopt. The companies have to adopt it, and the end user perspective also. Everyone needs everything in the fingertips, and it should be pretty fast. If you remember, like old days, like 20 years back, we used to do the dial-up connections, and it was like 250 kbps. Uh,
Oh yeah. I'm
yeah.
old, much older than that still. Yeah.
Yeah, but right
Sorry,
Well,
now it is
I
at
learned
3
about the
Gbps.
internet in school.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'll
They
let experts
actually taught
answer.
us how
Yeah.
to use a computer in school. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In college people.
Yeah, the kids nowadays will not understand. Like it's at 250 kbps, you have to wait 5 minutes for the computer boot up, another
Yeah.
5 minutes for connecting. But yeah, I'll let Mithun and Hari, or Hari, you want to add something to it? How the technology is changing?
Sure. The question for the answer for query is like I see it like driving. You can have 10 years or 20 years of experience that really counts. The logic for writing whatever you're doing, that doesn't change. That's just frameworks are like clothes. You change one cloth, you put on the other. Similarly, you jump from one framework to other, but what you write inside your business logic, that still has to come from your head. So the prior experience you have for coding, that still is valid, that all is still there. It's just that you will have to put on the costume for the new front end frameworks to keep yourselves compatible with the current requirements if you have plans of coming back to coding. But whatever prior experience you still had, that is there. That's not going to, nobody is going to take it away from you. It's just that you will have to adopt it to make it compatible with the current requirements.
Sorry if I interrupt you. Maybe, well, hi, I'm Zishan, and I would like to present you myself just in a minute. And sorry for interruption. Corey, maybe I didn't understand you what you're asking for. You're saying that all the platforms are looking same, right? If I'm not wrong.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah,
So if I'm
I think
looking at
because they are
one,
selling, they are giving you like making a white label softwares where they are just changing several things. This is for reduce the cost of the softwares for the timings and to distribute and then adapt to different solutions.
now, did you
Also,
say that was called white label?
yes, white label
White label?
softwares.
Okay, that's what it's called. And that is opposed to what? As opposed to a no,
No, let's make my software house makes software for you,
okay.
but
Yeah.
the problem you have someone else. So I cannot make only for you and then make again for someone else. So I'm making you customize like with the
Yeah.
graphics, with the designs of your company, and then selling to someone else, but adapting to their needs. So if all these are similar, I think first of all is for software houses for the convenience, and also secondly, I would say that if I'm going to create a software and some suddenly it changes all the menus and all these layouts, and you have been using for 20 years, for you the learning curve it will be very tough. So what they did is instead of creating like big changes, they just keep the things simple and keep improving the technology and what you don't see behind it, the like the performance, some key features, the bugs, but they would never like change at all the style and all that stuff. If I'm
Perfect.
talking of,
Okay.
yeah,
That
if
was
Hari
something I
is,
was, yeah. And so can I just to clarify to make sure I understand. So if
yes,
you create a software, so I worked for a company, let's say they did pet scheduling. So they create a pet sitting schedule. So they sell it to everybody else. So that's called white labeling. They are the base. They create the software and then they sell
yeah,
their pieces.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
They modify
So
on the
that's
needs
those are
of
the two
someone else.
changes. Right. So you're either creating the software or what's the term? Is it buying the software, running the software? What would
Uh,
the term be if you're white labeling
like
it?
white labeling is like creating a software, one software, and distributing to different companies and applying different changes. Let's see. Okay, what you have, websites all have similar layouts, but the colors and text and things are changing.
Yeah, exactly,
Okay,
exactly. Yeah, I
exactly.
did website administration for
Exactly.
a
This
dealer. Yeah,
okay.
how it works.
Dozen of
Yeah.
websites on WordPress are similar because they are starting from a base. Okay, and that
Yeah,
base
okay.
is called white label. White label does mean that does not have any label. Like Let's suppose that, and on
So
top
there's
you
a
put
root.
your name
There's a
exactly.
root that it comes from, basically. Somebody
What?
has
So
created the root
let
and
me
then
let me
kind
give
of
you
branched it off to the different ones.
yeah,
Yes.
Basically. Yeah.
Corey, let me give you an example. A lot of platforms are built on Salesforce technology.
Okay,
A
Salesforce. So
lot,
that's the platform, that's the
Salesforce is a
software.
platform, and a lot of applications are built on top of it for large corporations. A lot of websites are built on WordPress, Joomla. These are content management systems, CMS, where you write your blogs and things like that. Any of those are built on those. Then there is another example. Adobe has a platform to build a corporate internet websites and commercial solutions, which are scalable and things like that. But that's the
Okay.
modernization. You
You
will
guys,
not
this
find
is fun.
1999 websites of Amazon will not look like today's Amazon website, because they are completely rebuilt. And that's why the whole industry and technology is evolved into the modern stack, which they are talking about Node.js and React, and all these frameworks provide you that modernization that you will see across the board. If unless you find some old website, you will immediately know this doesn't seem like right. This is like 1999
Yeah,
website.
somebody really cheap old made it, left it for 25
I,
years.
I
Yeah,
think I,
exactly.
I will get back to Sudhir. Sudhir, let's talk about the next. Give the next speaker some opportunity.
Sure,
Sorry,
sure.
I just want to say thank you, you guys. I just, in case, you don't have to keep going on my account, but please continue if you want to. I don't want to take the floor. I just want to say thank you so much. You have no idea what you guys have just cleared up for me. I just could not get a handle on what the different types of why it was different and why it was worded different. So I just want to say thank you and oh my God, thank you. Okay,
No
I'm
worries,
done.
Ganesh. Thank you. Yeah, so let's move on to next person. So, Zishan, you want to introduce yourself and just share your experience?
Yes, sure. Thank you
Sure,
very much
please.
for
Yes.
accepting me here. It's a pleasure for me. And what I replied to Corey, I think it was correct. Let me know, you are more senior than me. You have more experience. I just wanted to understand what she said. I am a UI UX designer with 2 years experience of front end development. I just switched my field because I think I'm more in creative rather than the development, more in logic. And Hari, who is like in a front end development, I would like to know what's kind of difference is in UI developer and front end developer. Also, like how designers works with front end developers, because I have a knowledge of front end development tools. So I did. I'm able to create a design and being able to convert in at the front end side, just convert it, but not applying and integrate it with APIs and backend. And I would like to know, like, as a junior who does not have too much years of experience, what is the best approach to get connected with on LinkedIn, where I'm trying to create like my community and knowing more people, and yes, how I can connect and get opportunities, because I am applying to a lot of jobs and all of them say, okay, that's great, you have a right skills, we see your passion, but we choose someone else. That's what's making me frustrating, that I have everything that in line, but you are going to choose someone else. Like, what is from the perspective of the HR, and they are looking for a junior, even though I have experience, I have the skills, I have passion and the willing. Thank you very much.
Let me put it this way. Back in 2016, I had a degree in HFI for UX development. But what I faced was that my resume was getting generalized at some point. So some people used to see me as a UX developer. Some people used to see me as a UI developer. Some just wanted development. Here, what I see, especially in the Canadian circuit, is that people wants expertise. They are not looking for a jack of all. The moment I put 2 years or 3 years of experience in UX, 2 years of experience in UI, 1 year of experience in design, they, it doesn't matter what we know or what we are good at. It's all about the perception that the recruiter or the agency has. Oh, is this a specific resume that matches the job description provided by the client? Yes or no? The moment they feel like, no, it's a generalized resume, that resume goes to the backstack. So again, they'll go for a more specific profile that matches the exact job description mentioned by the client. That is where I personally feel like, rather than putting everything in the resume, focus on the main thing that sells, focus on where you want to get into, have enough projects, do a couple of projects, put it in GitHub, write post regarding whatever new stacks, whatever new technologies, at least post once a week to keep yourself updated and to keep your resume up among the searches inside LinkedIn, so that when recruiters are looking for or searching for, yes, your profile also will come across that. But focus the expertise on one thing rather than putting your legs on both sides, is my personal opinion.
No, yeah, now I'm going completely on UI UX. I don't want to go back, but I want to take that as a bag of knowledge with me. So when they need it, okay, I'm able to do that, but I don't want to do make it my primary thing.
The sad reality is that, although we try to highlight everything that we are good at, yes, they look at it, appreciate it, and say, oh no, I mean, we are looking for expertise on XYZ. We are looking for a specific profile that matches XYZ, because that XYZ is what the client has given these the agencies and consultancies, and they have a target of, yes, finding that particular profile that matches almost all the keywords mentioned in the JD. So they are in lookout for that one specific profile. Among the 200 odd applications that comes through, they will probably filter out the top 10, and for the resume to reach the top 10, you will have to have most of the things mentioned in the JD. And
Oh,
to do
understood.
that, so passion comes next. We know we are passionate, because of which we are learning and putting everything in our resume. But look at it from a recruiter's perspective. Is this the question they keep on asking is this the profile that I'm looking for? Is this matches everything that the client is asking for? Yes or no? So ask that question on the JD and see where you stand.
What does you mean JD? Sorry, can
Job
you?
description.
Oh, job description. Okay, job description. And yeah, as a junior, I even though I don't have much experience, I would like to point out more on like my experience, which I don't have at all, my studies and my background. Right?
Yeah, so for your profile, say if you are, say, 3 years of experience in UI UX, it would be beneficial for you to get into the job market by saying 4 years of experience in UI UX rather than 3 years in UI, 1 year in web development. Rather than generalizing your profile, keep sharpening
Okay.
it, and be specific about, especially UX being a very broad umbrella.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks, Sujan. So,
Thank you.
yeah, let's move on to the next person. Namrata.
Hey, hey Sudhir, can I
Yeah,
add one point?
yeah, Midhun, please.
Yeah, so this is for all. Uh, this will apply for UX designers as well as front end developers. If you are kind of new, you don't have so many years of experience, I think it's a good idea if you can create a portfolio website which will list out some of your work. And if you can have it hosted on your own domain, if you add it in your resume at the top, so I think that will add value. I have seen that a couple of times. So the hiring managers or the recruiters, they can view your work and understand that, okay, this guy can do this kind of things. So that'll add value for
Absolutely. I totally second that. I have seen that multiple times. I recommend that to all job seekers here. We have to build a portfolio outside of your resume, which you can showcase to the hiring manager, and it boosts your chances drastically to get hired. Even
exactly.
I
It will
have it.
be
Yeah, Midhun, go
something
ahead.
that stands out for you. If they have if they see 50 profiles and your profile has something extra like this, it will
Yep,
definitely stand out.
true. Absolutely true. Absolutely true.
Yeah, I have my own portfolio on Behance.
Yeah,
So yeah, I will share that in any
sure.
case. Thank you very
Great,
much
great.
anyway.
Yeah, thank you, Zijan. So
I,
let's
I
go to the
have
next.
one suggestion. Can I, Sudhir?
Oh, yeah, Venkatesh.
Thank you. Yeah, just a small suggestion. Like if you're starting a career now, or if you're struggling to get a job with the skill set which you currently have, so I suggest like choose a unique skill set. So instead of a general skill like Java, .NET, React, or Angular, instead of them, like choose a unique skill set like Svelte, some EXTJS, Sanjay EXTJS, or maybe Python. So these skill set, right? In the market, for example, if you say if there is any Java opening, right, you can see hundreds of profiles will be submitted. For example, if you take Sancha, you will not be finding any profiles for that. So if you know the Sancha, if you will get the job easily. So try to get the knowledge on unique skill set and expertise, get the expertise on the technology, and get the other skills, some hands-on on other skills. So that is my small suggestion.
Yeah. Thank you,
Understood.
Vikraj.
Thank you. Thank
Namrata, are you there?
Oh, yes,
E-
absolutely.
Every
Always
time I
waiting.
call you, somebody interrupts, right? It's the fifth time I'm calling you. Sorry for that. Go ahead.
I was this time hoping that you might be returning with Namrata. This time your question must be quick. And I was all set ready with
Yep.
that.
Go ahead, please.
Thank you so much for giving me the platform. So, good evening, everyone. I'm hoping everyone having a great evening today. So a bit of introduction about me. I'm working as a software development student at BlackBerry. So along with like my full-time experience, I'm almost having 2 years of industry experience now. However, I still have some questions about like what it takes for a full stack developer to land their first job in Canada, because I'm really new into this Canadian market, and I believe that showcasing one's uniqueness, like unique qualities and experience, is crucial in such a competitive market after post COVID. It's like getting way too challenging because we have so much talent pool now. So as an experienced developer, I really appreciate the insights of the experts here. I just want to get some thoughts around like what are the key factors that makes like a full stack developer stand out while applying for the jobs, because recently I started facing this thing where I have the all tech stack skills that they have mentioned in their job description. I have worked on React JS, Node.js, TypeScript, Redux, C Sharp. I have my projects deployed, but still, after having all those things, my profile is getting rejected. And I'm really curious to know what the market is currently working out and how things
Yeah,
can be
Namrata.
changed.
Yeah, got the question. So, but before that answer, I want to add 3 points here. First
Yeah.
thing is we had this for everyone. We had a recruiter session last Tuesday, and it has been recorded and it has been streamed in YouTube. So if you go to the YouTube, I had invited a recruiter from Tech Mahindra and another Sajit who helps a lot. We had discussed about the current market scenarios, how to boost your job search, and everything in that session, and it has been recorded. The recording is already live in YouTube. That's the first point I want to add. Now the second thing is, okay, second and third thing I'll add after Midhun and Hari complete. So I'll open it up for Hari, please. Sorry, one more thing. And Namrata, is this is not only your concern, it's a concern across the industry. um, but yeah, Hari, go ahead, please.
I'll let Midhun go first. I'll go second.
Sure, yeah, Midhun.
Okay, so here I think back in 2020, before I had applied to Scotiabank for a couple of positions that included full stack developer, I think, and they gave me a call last year, which is 2022, right? Like after 2 years. So they gave me an interview. I talked to an architect, and after that I talked to their manager, the program manager. So what they were expecting was like 60 to 70 percentage front end, which is like React, and the remaining 30% is their microservice backend. So that's the only front end job interview experience that I've had. That's not your question, right?
Um, my
No, Midhun.
question.
Okay, yeah, I'll repeat the question. So she's asking what are the things she should be doing to get a to boost her profile as a developer. What all things she can do? Just like as you said, we can have a GitHub profile, or we need
Yeah,
to build a website, right? So what are
yeah. I
the
think
tips and
the
tricks for all the job seekers to boost their job search um, in the current environment?
right, definitely. As a developer, the best way to showcase your is to showcase your work. You can have a public GitHub profile. You can do some sample projects. So I have done a bookstore project in React. I have that one uploaded in GitHub. I deployed it into Heroku at that time. So same thing we can add into our online profile. So these will make them stand out. So they know that you are not just simply talking about things. So another thing I have to I can point out is like I did a lot of technical interviews in the past. So sometimes what we can see is like some people can uh, when they talk in the interview they can give a lot of information, but when it comes to hands-on work they may be clueless. So it's better if you can showcase some of your skills. It'll be easier for the hiring manager or the technical recruiter to verify that you have these skills that they are looking for.
Sure. Thanks, Midhun. Hari, you want to add it?
Two points. One, Namrata has got what 2 years of experience, right? I'm simply putting myself in the recruiters or the hiring manager's shoe and looking from that. Now, when somebody says 2 years of experience and you are highlighting front end, back end, this and that end, that's where I told the resume becoming generalized or diluted. So if you want to highlight it from front end as well as full stack perspective, uh, not just build a Udemy like just a Udemy tutorial that you see and you just copy what they have done and put it in the GitHub profile. Why don't you blog about specific points? Do you know 3 key points that helps this particular thing? If you post it on a consistent basis, I recently was talking to a recruiter who hires very often, and I asked this question, see, if somebody is posting uh, in LinkedIn technical articles, does that really matter when it comes to selecting them? And the answer was yes. If they are providing valuable content and if they are posting consistently, the chances of their profile going up higher up from the recruiter's point of view is higher. So if it's not just about building something and putting in the GitHub profile, it's about selling yourself as well by uh, by letting others know about your skill set. Yes, you are good at this. How do you say you are good at this? You are posting articles from your perspective.
Yeah.
Three points or 4 points which you found will make your application perform much better, or 3 key tricks which you have found out during your whatever projects we are doing. So
Hari, do
sell.
we have the recording of the sessions where we have provided the tips to the recruiters? We have to check, right?
I believe so. I believe it was a
Okay.
bit,
Yeah.
not the recent one, the one before that, right?
Yeah, one before that last year. I mean, last winter, right? Yeah, winter we had given a session. Okay, so now I'll just take it short, like last, I mean, 3 minutes. I'll tell this in 3 minutes. So I have been doing some research in the Canada IT industry on job market specifically for the past 4 years. But by 2021, so I started in 2019, and by 2021, I formulated like 7 steps to boost your job search. So these 7 steps, I'm not saying that everyone has to do the 7 steps, but we might be missing one of these steps, which is actually causing the issue, or which is lowering our profile. So the first step is doing research. You have to do research on where the job market is available, which is a market which is, sorry, which is a technology which is in demand. If I am a PM, what all skill set I should have. If I'm a front end developer, which one I should learn. All these research you have to do. Second step is preparation. The preparation means you are literally preparing yourself for completely focused on the interview. You are you are preparing yourself with your new blogs, as Hari said, technical articles, things to showcase in your interviews and all. Because in whenever there is an interview which is happening, uh, like with me, I used to screen share and I show all my work, okay, work which I have done in the local work. So that's the second thing, preparation. The third one is resume. Resume is the most important thing. Okay, without a good resume you are not able to get through any of the ATS or the recruiters, that first round of uh, review. Because recruiters spend You can listen to the audio which is past, like which I posted in YouTube last Tuesday. 5 to 10 seconds. 5 to 10 seconds is the average time a recruiter looks into the resume. You need to have a stunning resume. It is not good, it has to be impressive. It has to be impressive resume. There is no doubt in that. Impressive resume lands you job. Then this is the third step. Fourth step is showcase your work. You literally will have to showcase your work. Resume is just a two-pager document. We cannot put our 3 years or 5 years or 10 years experience in the resume. We have to have a different portfolios, or the work which we have done stored somewhere. I have 8 links in my resume. Okay, the one is to LinkedIn, one is email address, one is like my Tableau work, one is my articles, one is my case studies. Similar to that, I have 8 links provided in my resume. Resume is just 2 pages, but I have 17 years of experience. But people can navigate to different work, my personal website, my portfolio, my Tableau work, my agile work, from that resume. So resume contains link. You need to showcase your work. That is what Midhun and Hari just mentioned. That is the step number 4. Step number 5, you need to have a mentor. The reason I'm saying why you should have a mentor is, when I came to Canada, like with 10 to 12 years of experience, I thought that I'm very experienced and I try to crack down them, crack a job. For first 4 months, I got zero calls, zero interview calls. It was mainly because of my resume. I got a mentor. Mentor gave me all the guidance. I fixed my resume. I got 18 calls or 13 calls in 18 days. Okay, somehow something like that. That resume, getting that resume fixed was a step number 1, which without a mentor I would not have got it. Now the second thing is, I got job in after attending a couple of interviews. Few interviews, I got a job. But from that day onwards, I have been seeking the mentorship from this person or these persons. They have been helping me grow our career. You would be surprised to see how these mentors can change the way you think. They can listen to your problems. Of course, your friends will be there, but they may not be able to give you right advice at the right time. And mentors may be able to give you the correct advice at the correct time. So this is step number 5. Step number 6 is prepare for the interview. After applying 100 jobs, you may get one interview call, and you will mess up that interview because you are not prepared for that interview. Everyone starts preparation for the interview only after getting the interview calls, and you just have one day to prepare, 1 or max 2 days or maximum a weekend to prepare. That is not enough for you to prepare for an interview, especially technical interviews. You need to prepare the moment you started doing a job search. If you are a student, you have to start preparing for your interview the moment your co-op starts. It is very, very, very important. This is the step number 6. And the step number 7, networking. Professional networking is the key in Canada. I understand a lot of newcomers, they may not have the professional network, but you have to build connections, and you have to convert these connections to network. From this network, you have to bring it to your professional network. You need that. You have to build it into a professional network where you can chat with that prospective person on the anything, because this is very, very important. Everyone in Canada says professional network is very important. I did a survey back in LinkedIn. 46% of the people said I got the job through LinkedIn. 27% said that I got the job through referral. It means that 75% jobs went through LinkedIn and uh, referrals. It means that the remaining everything, applying through career website, everything, it is just 1 out of 4. But 75 percentage goes through LinkedIn and referrals. So you need to have wonderful network, a really good professional network here in Canada, um, to build your career. And not only getting the job, even after getting the job, you should learn how to keep your network alive. Lot of people just say bye after getting the job, and after 2 3 years when they get laid off, they come, I mean, layoff, they come back and say that, okay, I lost the job, can you please help? That is not network, that is actually a service, right? So you have to keep up the professional network alive, and this is very easy when you have a job. If you are currently working, start building a professional network today. Keep your old network alive, do not let that network die, because the moment you are out of the job and you reach back to your network, they may or may not be able to help. Mostly they will not help, because you just reach out to them only when you are in need. So my recommendation is have a strong professional network here. And I'm not saying that you need 20 or 50 or 100 people. You just need 10 people in your network which is working on your same field. 10 good 10 good friends or 10 good professional network is much higher than 10,000 followers in LinkedIn. There is no use of having 10,000 followers in LinkedIn. They may or may not be able to help. You just need 10 people to help you when you are trying to search for the job. As I said, everyone need not do all these 7 steps. But in your case, Namrata, Mithun and Hari, what they mentioned is absolutely that's a step number 4. You need to showcase your work, and you need to publish your LinkedIn, or you need to put your LinkedIn as a flyer. I always give the example of New Year's Eve flyer. It should be attractive, it should attract people to come to that party. Same thing, your LinkedIn should be attracting the recruiters and the hiring managers to reach out to you and give you an offer. Trust me on this. And if you the second job and all, right, you may or may not have to give interview. I have seen people getting jobs without the interviews by looking at their work. So this is my 7 steps which I have learned from the my experience. So that is the reason why I thought of sharing this. Just keep a note of this, this is very important. And if you fix a small issue in your profile or in your resume or in your job search process, you may be able to get a job pretty faster. Yes, candidates are higher, but niche skills or really good candidates are very less. And that is where you have to be top 10 percentage. Aim for the top 10 percentage and you will get a job in 2 months. Hope this helped, Namrata.
This is very brief, and I believe that with this question, like you are like addressing like the queries for like almost like everyone in the meet today. I believe because these were like very brief points that I've noted down, and I really appreciate that. But I don't want to take a floor for like quite a while now because I have some other questions. But would you mind if I just reach out to you personally on LinkedIn, maybe to ask like some personal questions I
Please, you
have?
can reach out to us. We have 3 more minutes. We will wind up in 10 at 10:10. But Amrendra has been waiting for some time. Amrendra, you want to utilize 1 minute?
Yeah, sure, Sudhir. Thanks,
Yes, sir.
thanks for giving the opportunity. And hey, everyone. I have experience of around 5 to 6 years in IT industry, and I have started as a support engineer. Then I moved to migration, and from there I moved to Canada for my studies. So, just addressing to your questions, I have one question. So we talk about the React, we talk about Angular, we talk about lot of frameworks, and but what about the data structures? Because basically, whatever I've seen, companies ask for the data structure in the coding interview. They ask for the data structure. So, what's your take on that? Means how much we should know? Because if we go into the data
Yeah,
structure, it will
yeah.
go and go and go and go and go on.
Let's see. Let's answer that quickly. Hari and Midhun. Quick. We have just
Uh,
2 minutes.
Data structures and algorithms, the basics is a must. So, for whatever interviews I have personally attended, one of the rounds is definitely data structure algorithms, but you don't have to go deep, but then you'll have to have enough knowledge to solve snippets. They'll
Yeah.
be asking coding snippets that revolves around these concept. So once you are good with solving or cracking those, even though you don't have the full answer, so long as you can portray that yes, you are thinking in the right direction, you'll cross that round. But that is one round you should expect whenever you are attending interviews here.
Okay. Because I have solved around more than 120, 150 questions on the lead code. Still, I'm not confident.
Let's take it offline, Amrindra. We will connect, or please connect with Hari and Mithun, and they should be able to answer that.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, sure,
last two
sure. Thank
question.
you.
Mohammed Saad.
Sorry, I didn't know how to put down my hand. My answer, question has been answered already.
Okay,
So thank
fine.
you.
Sounds
Okay.
good, man. Thank you. Nelson, you want to
Yeah,
introduce
sure.
yourself? Yeah, please.
Yeah, sure. My name, as you've seen, is Nelson. I live in Canada. Welcome to the newcomers. Yeah, I lived in the Western Coast, like in Calgary, Alberta. You, I started. I'm glad that this platform is given to me, and it's a great opportunity to meet with great minds. I'm glad I've learned a lot. I am a change manager right now. I started off as a pure project Scrum Master, and then I mean actually from a DevOps engineer role, but coding was not my thing. I had to move up to Scrum Master, where it's a servant leadership role slash a project manager. And then I am actually a change consultant because change was really a great thing during COVID, especially. We saw the way change, everything was moving from normal to a new normal. So I'm glad to be here. I want to connect with people who are within this sphere. I know most of us are front end developers and back end, but I mean, you guys, your technology is useless when we don't have people who are using it. So change management is really important as far as process improvement is concerned. Thank you very much, and I'm glad to connect. Anybody who can connect with me, and
Thank you,
thanks, Sudhir.
Nelson. Yeah, so as part of the Canada IT Club, we have multiple sessions. So last Thursday we had the Agile session. So this week we have the front end developer, but next week maybe we'll have some tax related thing. On July 8th we have a immigration thing, and I might be inviting some mortgage specialist or real estate specialist to understand about how the mortgages are work. And I am trying to reach out to multiple people from the domain also, and I'm inviting them to have a session, 1 hour session. So if you are interested in giving a session on change management and all, we can connect offline and we can schedule the session. So today's session was mostly focused on the front end development, but yeah, we will have other sessions also, upcoming sessions, as part of our improving our network and sharing the information. Okay, thanks. Rajesh, you have last 1 minute to ask the question. And those who were not able to ask the question, please connect with us offline. We can have a follow-up sessions if you want. Rajesh,
Yeah, thank you all for allowing me to talk. So I recently moved to Canada like 3 months ago, and I have a 10 plus years of experience into Java full stack development. So I worked I have experience in India only. Even I have worked on banking domain also. I worked for JP Morgan and Chase for 3 plus years. So here I have been getting calls and I have been getting interviewed, and most of them I got selected in the first round, but very few, one or two, I got like a client calls. And even though one client they called for face to face, and they were asking like write me code on the board and all, so I was unable to through that. And later on the calls has been reduced, and very recently it has been started again. So what could be the reason why it my I mean next client round has been not yet uh, uh, slot have not yet booked for me. So is there any way that I need to improve? Maybe you have already given a lot of suggestions. I'll have to follow that. But is there anything that you can just give me
Hari,
yeah.
Hari, you want to add something?
Nothing in specific. It's just that at this particular situation, over the past 2 months, I have seen that the hiring has been pretty slow. So I know at least two or three friends of mine who had attended interviews who are yet to get calls for the next rounds. So in general, as of now, the pace is a bit slow, but assume to picked up a bit later. But then patience is a virtue here.
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
it's it's you are at least getting interview calls, and you are at least been to that level where you are having face to face interviews, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
So even some of, I mean, not all gets through to that round itself. So even uh, the people who are actually getting calls, interview, real client interviews are less at this point, at least my friends. So
Mhm.
it's partly you can blame it on the job market at this point of time. Yes, there are openings happening, but then what happens is for for one single opening you have 200 plus profiles,
Okay.
and half of them are already experienced people who have enough Canadian experience or who are working on those field in Canada who are trying to switch the jobs. So obviously the recruiters would be running behind them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
Uh, one second. Yeah. So, Rajesh, you can watch the YouTube video. If you don't have the link, just ping me. I'll send you the link.
Okay.
We had a session last Tuesday. We have clearly explained what all these things,
Mhm.
what is happening in the market, why
Okay.
there is a less hiring happening right now, and what
Mm-hmm.
all things you can do to improve. Okay, so all these things have we have mentioned clearly. So anybody doesn't have the link, please feel free to ping me. I'll share the link. So by that we have to wind up the call, and it was a good session. Thanks everyone for contributing and joining this late. Um, a special thanks to Midhun and Hari for accepting my invite and coming here and sharing all the good information. So as I said, please connect with the folks from the same field. It will actually help you out. Um, and we will have other sessions coming in the coming weeks. So feel free to follow the Canada IT Club page. You will get notified on all the sessions which is coming. Hari, Mithun, thank you. Uh, any closing comments, and we can part for the day.
Yep, one single point, one last point which I missed
Sure.
out, especially for beginners who are trying to get into or 2 3 years of experience who are trying to get into the job market. Open source contributions will really make your profile stand apart.
Sure. Thank you. Thanks, Hari. Okay, then. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night. So, see you in the next session.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. Bye.